Alright, let's go ahead and do this for very early Monday video. I didn't make a video actually late Friday or over the weekend. I was actually enjoying myself Friday evening. And then over the weekend, I was just kind of got my head away from MULN, head away from the stock market, kind of really delouse. You got to do that once in a while, especially if you are watching a lot of I don't want to say bullshit, but yeah, I mean the overall penny stock market, right? The penny stock sector of the stock market is kind of really taking a beating right now. And MULN's going to do what MULN does, but even though currently I don't have any MULN shares, I'm actually really looking for a good opportunity to buy back into MULN. It still is depressing seeing this stock just completely go down and down, knowing that this thing just ultimately might get delisted. Because if MULN does get fully delisted, that means everything for the last 2 years was really worth nothing. And there's really no chance of myself or anyone out there ever regaining any amount of money back from what we lost in this stock, which is very unfortunate. But there is actually some optimistic financial earning. His last 2 videos that he posted was actually somewhat very well done, very informative. He doesn't do any chart type videos. I honestly don't even know if he has any MULN shares or if he is a trader at all, because being an investor is different than being a trader. Being a trader, you're looking at the charts constantly. You're not just randomly going to buy something and be like, I'll look at it, in a year or so later. If you did that with MULN 2 years ago, you would have $0. For anyone who didn't watch my previous videos, I was invested in MULN from March of 22 up until May of 23, and then I ended up selling a humongous bag for a big loss. That was my fault for believing in the board and believing in David Mitchery, which was a very big mistake, but there could be something brewing right now that could be a very big potential to be moved up very, very quickly. So, if you do have time, I would say definitely check out his last 2 videos, Financial Earning. The MULN spoofing lawsuit update is definitely very... I actually did get a lot of good information from that video. And the uplifting overview just talks about other options that MULN has for their vans. I mean, MULN is a operating company. They just suck dealing with investors. But MULN is a legitimate company. There just has been massive dilution that has completely killed us. No new SEC filings, especially Friday evening. I was actually watching this. I was out with a group of friends, and I kept refreshing my phone religiously. That one of my good friends asked me, he's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I'm following this dirtbag fucking company, and I've lost so much money trading, investing into this company. I'm waiting to see if this company is actually going to screw over their shareholders and do a offering, more dilution. David would normally post very bad filings in the after hours of a Friday. So the fact that we did not get any SEC filings last week, that's good. I mean, that's not bad at all. I actually really do like that. According to Benzinga, David Mitchery has not repurchased or not bought any shares. That is definitely not a surprise. Let's head over to Stock Titan. There's been no news, which has been very weird, I want to say, because it's been well over a week now. You're talking the 14th, so you're talking, yeah, so it's well over a week. MULN typically drops a lot of news, even if it's fluff news, but they have not done anything, not even fluff news. So that's a little worrisome, but at the same time, maybe today we're actually going to be getting an operational update, which would be amazing for us to actually see. Let's head on over now to the lawsuit portion. So this is the spoofing lawsuit case. We did get an update March 22nd, basically saying that Clear Street LLC has until May 1st, which is not negative. I mean, that's good. Obviously, this lawsuit is going forward, which it could potentially result in a huge settlement, hopefully for MULN, not the other way around. As for the other lawsuit against GEM that I talked about in a few videos ago, so this lawsuit, from my understanding, is still going forward, which means that MULN was supposed to meet with them March 21st, which was this past Friday. We got no updates on the 22nd. Maybe we'll get an update today. But there was a lot of talk, especially on X, about this lawsuit basically being dropped. And it doesn't look like it's happening. So, I mean, that's also a really good thing. Let's go over to X really quickly. So, whenever you go ahead and type in MULN, there's always a lot of bullshit that pretty much gets populated. One good thing is really any Fintel update. Cost to borrow is insanely high still. Short interest, pretty much. So everything is primed for a short squeeze on MULN. Absolutely everything. And I mean, it doesn't even matter how many how many different vans that are really available. We really do need production updates more than anything. But if you actually type in MULN or $MULN on X, you can basically see a lot of stuff that people are posting. I will say that the MULN traffic has gone down significantly within the last couple months. And that's really been very unfortunate, because that kind of means maybe the hype is dying down on MULN, which I really hope it is not. But I mean, it honestly really does look like the hype is truly, could be dying down, which it might actually be very bullish to consider. And one reason why the hype dying down on MULN might actually be bullish is because not a lot of people are paying attention to MULN, which could catch shorts and also a lot of other people really off guard. So if MULN drops some amazing news that catches people off guard and forces a lot of people to buy in, that could spark a gigantic push up. But let's go ahead and review what happened on Friday very quickly. What happened Friday, market opened, MULN ended up dropping, made a new all-time low. I actually got to bring down my all-time low. What is the new all-time low on MULN? Every single day last week, MULN was pretty much making a new all-time low. And ever since then, this thing has just been absolutely just been having not a good time. 411 is the new all-time low, which is not really good. Downside, give me 1 second. Let's pull this up. So the pivot levels today are actually a little spread out, but then again, MULN has been dropping just significantly, like by 5 to 10% on a daily basis. So obviously these pivot levels are going to be fluctuating very much. If you want to know what the pivot levels are, you can literally log on, type in bar chart MULN on Google, and you basically see the pivot levels for the day. Pivot levels are previous day's high. They're averages of the highs and lows in the previous day. Obviously, if we get a drop by 7.88% in one day, then these pivot levels are going to be a lot more spread out. It is just absolutely just depressing to think that if we go down by 5% today, we're going to be below $4, which is a psychological level. And that is just absolutely just mind-blowing. That a company that's done 3 enormous reverse stock splits can actually be like this. But we'll save that for another video, talking about this absolute devastation. But, I mean, right now, we're just waiting for news. There is nothing else that I can really talk about. We need news. Let's go to the daily chart. This is the daily time frame, so every one of these candlesticks represent one day. As you see, on Friday, we fell off a damn cliff. It honestly looked like Wednesday and Thursday, we pretty much made a bottom. And then shorts said to us, hell no. Thursday was the day of manipulation. I made it in my previous video. There was pretty much a short attack. I mean, there was no news, and MULN went up randomly by 15, 16%, and then they end up crashing right back down very quickly. That's most likely shorts getting in. But the RSI is 24.77. That is just insane. Insanely oversold. You're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red days. 10 red days. I think this, like, takes the fucking cake on MULN. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red days. But then again, we went from 10 all the way down to, say, yeah, I mean, that's almost a 50% drop. We went from 6 all the way down now to 4. Yeah, that's almost a 50% drop. So, MULN tends to drop when they fall off a cliff, typically by 50%. Which is just really, I mean, we can sit here and we can talk about the charts all day long. MULN fell off a cliff from 30 all the way down to 17. Yeah, that's about, that's about 50%. Then they ended up popping, but this pop came with news. Fell off a cliff from 46 all the way down to 22. RSI over here was 22, even lower. But once again, MULN needs news. If we do not get news, today's not going to be a good day, guys. And I'm so sorry for anyone still holding MULN. But if we do not get news, and if I'm okay if there's no more MULN hype. To be perfectly honest, if there's no more MULN hype, it's actually a bullish good thing, because it can catch a lot of people off guard. What I am not okay with is we just are making new all-time lows on a daily basis. New all-time low, Thursday, the 14th. New all-time low, next day, next day, next day, next day. I believe we even made a new all-time low when we had these 2 red days here. Yep, we did. And then, of course, new all-time low. So, we have just absolutely fell off a cliff significantly here. And the only way that we can regain all this very quickly, because we can, is if we get news. If we do not get news, and something like this happens again, where let's go back to this shenanigans, this was Thursday. If we get no news, and we get something like this is a short trap. Short trap in the sense that they are trapping us. We're not trapping them. Shorts have been fucking trapped on MULN for the last two years. It requires the right news and no dilution. If we get the right news, we can make shorts close out their positions, and we can hurt institutions and anyone who is shorting the stock. Anyone. But if we get something like this today, and there is no news, nothing, I would be very cautious. Me personally, I as a day trader, a swing trader, I am not touching anything like this. I don't even care if I could get 5% scalping. It just, I'm staying away from something like this. I am not a financial advisor. I am still a young trader. But I would say stay away. If MULN pops like this with no news today, it's literally just that they have to pop. They've gone down so quick, so fast, they gotta pop a little bit. But just be cautious, because I've lost a significant amount of money in the stock, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get any of my money back, but we can't really say anything else other than we just need news. That's like the biggest thing for today, is that we need news. And if it's not the right type of news, then we're going to have this happen at market open, which is so sad and so unfortunate, because once again, the all-time low is not a support beam. It is not a support area. The S1 at 402, that's more of a support, and also $4. If MULN breaks the all-time low, it's not something god-awful, but if we break $4 today, and if we close below $4 today, that means tomorrow we can go and we can try. It's going to be bad. Let's not go there. Lord, please let MULN have something up their sleeve, because I really hope that they don't have anything, and because that's the worst case scenario, is that they don't have anything. Their M1s, M3s are not actually selling. And David Mitchery pretty much hyped up his company way more than what he should have. And if that's the case, there needs to be a lawsuit against them. And I believe there actually might be. I got to look into it a little more, but I think that's going to be on the next video of mine, talking a little bit about that. Otherwise, if any of you are enjoying these videos, let me know in the comments. For my handful of subscribers, my sexy subs, thanks for watching. I don't know how. I mean, I'm making these videos for a couple reasons. One is for myself, for venting reasons. Two is because I know people have been crushed by the stock like me, and we kind of just really need to come together in a way. And lastly, I do think that something big can happen. Because once again, if this company, which they have already stated multiple times, and I do believe this, is that they have, I believe it was $388 million worth of assets. Actually, it might be 400 million. I honestly can't remember. I got to look at their previous earnings. What their assets actually are, but still, keep the numbers simple. If this stock has $400 million worth of assets, and if David can drop a bombshell of news that can justify their assets and can actually collect revenue, if we collect revenue and David says, hey, we've collected revenue, this is what we're going to finish on the year, and we're going to be potentially looking at this time frame for profitability. We got many other POs coming down, and they can justify having a $400 million assets and get their market cap to $400 million. A squeeze would be insane, because right now their market cap's a joke. Their market cap is not $4 billion. MULN's market cap right now is 27 to, which is just absolutely unheard of. So you're talking they're trading 14 times less of their assets, which is insane, like I said. Because right now at $4.20 times 15, you're looking at this price range of a potential gigantic move. Could MULN squeeze to that price range? Yeah, that's realistic. Can they squeeze to $640? Probably not, guys, and I'm so sorry. But if MULN drops the right type of news, yes, they could have a gigantic move. Gigantic move. But we all need the right type of news, and that's what I'm praying for, is we get good operation update, collection of revenue, and we'll take it from there. If MULN does drop news, I'll make another video. If they don't, I'll probably make one in the evening. Not entirely sure. I have a lot of going on today, and honestly, there's a lot of other stocks that are popping. So remember that MULN is not the only fish in the pond. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.